Hello dear students, today we are going to discuss about the factors on which the resistance of a conductor depends. In the previous classes we discussed about the relationship between potential difference and current. What is potential difference? Potential difference is the amount of work done in order to move a unit charge from one point to another point. And similarly electric current is the flow of charges through a cross section of conductor. And see, we already verified the relationship between V and I, potential difference and current. That relationship is known as Ohm's law. So in Ohm's law says that electric current that is flowing through a conductor, that is directly proportional to the potential difference across the ends of a conductor, provided if the temperature remains the same. And also this constant, the ratio V by I, V over I, that constant is known as the resistance of the resistor. So what is resistance also? That also we discussed earlier, and definitely you go through all these videos properly, and this chapter is included for your next second online examination, so revise it well. What is resistance? Resistance, that is the property of materials. Even though a metal, even though it is a good conductor, so it will not offer a free and smooth passage of free electrons. So the atoms that are surrounding, so that will attract these electrons, because protons which are situated in the nucleus, so that is having positive charge. So this positively charged nucleus of different atoms that are present in the metals, this will attract the freely moving electrons towards them, and this will create a resistance to the flow of electrons. So this constitute resistance. So the motion, look at this sentence, the motion of electrons through a conductor is retarded by its resistance. So a component of a given size that offers a low resistance, that is known as a good conductor, and a conductor having some appreciable resistance, that is called a resistor. So good conductor, we have already seen examples that metals are good conductors of electricity, and conductors having certain alloys, nichrome wire, that we used to verify the Ohm's law, that is a resistance, it's a resistor. And certainly dry paper, dry wooden piece, so these plastics, this will offer very high resistance to the flow of current. That's why they are known as poor conductor, or they are known as insulator, that offers very high resistance. Now let us check what are the factors. While verifying Ohm's law, we took 0.5 meter long nichrome wire. So in this activity 12.3, so what might be the reason behind it? So that we will check in this activity. Why did we select that only particular length of nichrome wire? So what is the relationship between length and resistance of a conductor, and length and certain other factors that resistance depends on length, then thickness. Definitely you can see here this wire is more thicker, so thickness or area of cross section, that also having an effect on resistance. Now let us look at the activity. So here also you need to set up an electric circuit in order to check what are the factors that affects the electric current flowing through a conductor. That means resistance, how much resistance this can offer. So complete the electric circuit consisting of a cell, an ammeter, a nichrome wire of length L, that is marked 1. This is a nichrome wire of length L. Say you take it as say 1 meter, and a plug key. Here you can see the plug key, and here you can see ammeter. Here, if already we have discussed that if resistance increases, if resistance doubles, the current will get halved. That is the relationship between current and resistance. If one increases, the other will decrease, because from Ohm's law we discussed that current flowing in a circuit is inversely proportional to the resistance of the circuit. If resistance doubles, the current will get halved. So this relationship. So we are using an ammeter in order to check the amount of current that is flowing through the circuit while these different materials, that means of what we are taking here is nichrome wire of different length. The number 1 is say marked with nichrome wire of length L, that you can take it as say 1 meter. And now plug the key and note the ammeter reading, and the next replace the nichrome wire by another nichrome wire of same thickness but twice the length, that is 2L. Suppose earlier if we had taken here at first, if we had taken here a nichrome wire of length 1 meter, at this, when we perform the next set experiment, when you take the next set reading, here you need to replace this nichrome wire of 1 meter length with nichrome wire of length 2 meter. We are doubling the length. So in that case also again we are noting the ammeter reading. So what changes can occur? Here you can see, if suppose as the length increases, the electrons has to pass more number of atoms. So as a result, more attraction, more force of attraction, that electrons will suffer, and as a result what will happen? The resistance of the conductor will increase. So we can say that resistance is directly proportional to length of the conductor. Or as we increase the length of the conductor, the resistance also will increase. So as a result, the ammeter, the reading in the ammeter will be less. So in the first case, if the reading in the ammeter was suppose 1 ampere, then the second case it will become 0.5 ampere. And the second thing, now replace the wire with a thicker nichrome wire. Here you can see both these are thin nichrome wires. So now we are replacing it by using a thicker nichrome wire. Look at this third one, and a thicker nichrome wire, say of length L, of the same length. These two wires 3 and 4, these are two are of same length, and but the thickness, look at the thickness of the wire 3, that is little more thicker than the wire 4. And suppose as the thicker wire has a larger cross sectional area, look at that, so electrons will not suffer that much resistance. So as a result, the area, as the area of cross section increases, so what happens here? The electrons will get more space for traveling through the conductor. So as a result, the electrons will be able to find it, feel easy to flow through the conductor rather than passing through this narrow conductor. That is 4. Here the area of cross section is less. So what we can suggest, while we use a thicker conductor, here the resistance will be less, and a thinner conductor, comparatively the resistance will be higher. So as a result, we can say resistance of a conductor is inversely proportional to the area of cross section. So if the area of cross section increases, resistance will decrease. That's why it is known as inversely proportional. Earlier we had seen if length increases, resistance also increases. That is called directly proportional. Suppose we already discussed in the Ohm's law. If V, that is potential difference, increases, current also increases in the circuit. That V is directly proportional to I. And here we can see, if the length of the conductor increases, the resistance also increases. And what about area of thickness or area of cross section? If larger the area of cross section, lesser will be the resistance and ammeter reading will be more. If larger the area of cross section, lesser will be the resistance. So we can say resistance is inversely proportional to the area of cross section. And at last, let the wire be of the same length, and if instead of nichrome wire, if you connect a copper wire of the same length in the circuit. So if you, when you note down the reading in the ammeter, so you will see that the current again increases. That means nichrome wire is a resistor. It's an alloy of nickel, chromium, iron and C, and as a result it offers a resistance, higher resistance rather than compared to that of copper wire. Copper wire is a good conductor of electricity. So as you change the material, what happens? The resistance also varies. Nichrome wire, as it is a resistor, it offers very high resistance, so the value of current flowing in the circuit will be less. So these are the factors, mainly length of the conductor and area of cross section, and it changes as the temperature also, and also depends on the material, whether you are using nichrome or copper. And it is observed that the ammeter reading decreases 1/2 when the length of the wire is doubled, and the ammeter reading is increased when the thicker wire of the same material and of the same length is used in the circuit. A change in the ammeter reading is observed when a wire of different material of the same length and same area of cross section is used. So when you apply, these are the factors. First one is length, then thickness of the conductor or area of cross section of the conductor, third one material, fourth one is temperature. So using Ohm's law, we can say that what is Ohm's law? V is equal to I into R. So the resistance of a conductor depends on its length, the area of cross section and nature of the material. So the precise measurements have shown that the resistance of a uniform metallic conductor is directly proportional to its length and inversely proportional to the area of cross section. So that is, we can write R is directly proportional to L, or R is inversely proportional to area of cross section. And when you combine these two equations, you will get R proportional to L over A, L divided by A. You can remove this proportionality sign by using a constant. That constant is known as rho. That is known as resistivity. Resistivity and resistance are two different terms. Okay. Resistance R is equal to rho L over A. Okay, that's all for today's section. The remaining we will see tomorrow.